All right, we're going live.
Okay.
I'm tired of waiting.
Sounds good to me.
Hello, people of the internet.
Hello.
I don't know if you can hear us or not, but we're here and we're streaming live from Gamescom 2017.
Indeed we are.
And I have way more energy than I had about 60 seconds ago.
That's what happens when you go live. All the energy just comes forward.
I think it's adrenaline. The adrenaline just kicked in.
It's just so exciting when we have 35 viewers. We have to entertain them now.
We are. 34. We lost somebody. Well done, Susie. You booched that one.
Well, you know.
37.
Yes.
I'll give you credit.
Okay,
I
sweet.
can't, I mean, I have to, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
That's what I'm here for.
It's finally the future, yes. So we are at the Meltdown Esports Bar in Cologne. And for the first time, we have, I believe, reliable internet. I've been struggling with that all day. I did 14 30-minute demos of Crowfall today for random press people. And then yesterday I did a 1-hour Q&A. And before that, I had another 13 half-hour press interviews. So, and then, just because that wasn't enough, I took Max, Melissa, and Felix out drinking last night. We stayed up till 3 in the morning.
You know, that's how you do conferences, though. They're not fun unless you stay out too late drinking.
That's exactly right. So okay, so we're up to 44. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And we've got a pretty good crowd here, and I think I might even be able to show it to you.
Oh, yes.
Here it comes, Con. Look at that.
That is the crowd we've got here
That's
tonight.
our crowd, and it kind of stretches all the way back to the street. We haven't done a lot of drinking yet, but that will change. So don't worry about that. That's not a concern.
We do have more beer coming.
So how is the con going for you, Susie?
You know, the con has been going really, really well.
Do they know you, really?
I think I streamed once with Blair, and they seem to like me a bit from streaming with Blair.
Okay.
Apparently I ask him the hard questions.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if that works with me.
I'm a lot more intimidated by you than I am by Blair, Todd.
That's fair enough. That makes sense.
But yeah, so they might know me. If you guys don't know me, I am Susie. I'm a programmer on Crowfall.
That's true, yes.
I made some...
Girls in STEM.
Yeah, girls in STEM. Is that why you hired me to diversity hire?
I didn't hire you, Gordon
Oh, that's true, okay. Actually, I think Bill hired me.
Sure, I'll take credit. That sounds great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's been really, really great here. We've got a lot of excitement at the booth. The players are...
Yeah, it's been crazy, the lines, and I've heard that tomorrow is like 5 to 10 times worse.
Oh, yeah.
Than the first days are more business focused, so I've heard it's going to get worse.
It's been really, really fun, though. Like, today our line definitely was stretching all the way around our booth, which has been really fun. The only thing that we have to compete against is the people screaming around us.
Yeah, there's a lot of T-shirt giveaways.
A lot of T-shirt giveaways.
People go crazy for the T-shirts.
Yes.
It's like they've never seen a shirt before, or like these shirts are made of heroin. Oh, is that what it is? You think the shirts are made of heroin?
You think shirts are made of heroin?
Gordon is giving me that look.
He's just staring at us.
This is my life. Gordon's right on the other side of the desk right now. I've got a monitor right here, and I look over there, and he's giving me that look. That is probably 5 hours out of every day that I work at the office, because we sit right across from each other. We have dueling desks.
Oh, yeah.
And I look across, and he's staring at me, giving me that look.
I feel like I got a little glimpse into your personal life here on the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Because now I know how it feels.
So, let's see. So we've got a whole bunch of people here from a whole bunch of different... Oh, he's going to come in.
A wild Gordon appeared.
Yeah, so I'll force all of the random people that work for us to come by at some point here and hang out with us for a few minutes.
Yeah?
Yep. How are you doing, Gordon?
I'm good.
Did you ever get your luggage?
No.
They can't hear you.
I can talk into it. No, I never got my luggage.
So Gordon, Max, and Akshay and I.
Just Gordon and Max.
Oh, well, Gordon, Max, Akshay, and I all came through Toronto to Dublin, and in theory from there to Cologne. As soon as we got to Toronto, everything went crazy. Like, it went way off the rails. We were already 6 hours overdue. Max and I were streaming the episode of Game of Thrones and listening to it in the Toronto airport, just trying to buy some time while we were getting exhausted. Eventually, we did make it to Dublin, and from there, everything went horribly wrong.
Yep.
Horribly wrong. So I finally made it. That night, I got to Brussels because I had a bunch of stuff I had to do, like the panel discussion in the morning, and we were scared that it would be a panel discussion, and without the two of us, there really wasn't a panel.
And there was only one ticket.
There was only, so there was one ticket. So I jumped on that plane, went to Brussels, and then had a car get to Cologne. Like I had a car drive me at midnight to Cologne because I was scared that we'd be up there in the panel discussion that was Richard Garriott and Lars and Gordon and me would just be Richard Garriott and Lars talking about contrasting Portalarium and Artcraft, Shroud of the Avatar, and Crowfall. That seemed like a really terrible panel. So the goal was to at least get one of us there. So I got there, and then you guys finally arrived like the next day at 4:30.
No, 2.
Or 2,
So
without your luggage.
2. Yeah.
And so we're still waiting on Max and Gordon's luggage. Akshay's came through fine. He got his, no problem. We're still waiting on their luggage to arrive. So we'll see if we'd actually, and we do. So he said, at least you have T-shirts. That is absolutely true. Everybody has been cycling through the new Crowfall T-shirts at an alarming rate, even at the people who didn't lose their luggage.
Anyway, it's been an interesting trip.
It has. It has been an interesting trip. We're through. So Gamescom, the first 2 days are kind of more business focused, which is crazy to me because the show floor was packed and the line to the Crowfall booth was already going down and around the corner. I've heard that tomorrow it's not business anymore. It's pure consumer, and we should get 4 to 5 times the number of people coming through.
Yeah. It's going to be nuts.
That sounds terrifying.
Who do you want next? I'll go get him.
Get Akshay. He was supposed to join me for this. She is the fake Akshay. She's the faux
true.
Akshay.
I am the faux Akshay right now.
So he said the luggage is probably being held because we had heroin in them. That would be a pretty good reason.
Well, you did mention heroin and T-shirts.
Yeah,
so
I mean, but they go crazy for the T-shirts.
they do.
All right. So what
Are
are we supposed to say in German?
Prost.
Post.
Prost. With an R.
Prost.
Prost. Yeah, Prost.
Prost. Prost. All right. Gamescom.
Gamescom.
All right.
All right. I guess it sounds like I'm getting replaced here pretty quick.
In a little bit. Is she the new and improved Akshay? That is a tough one.
It is a tough one,
If it was Bentley or Max, I'd be like, obviously. But Akshay's he's a pretty cool cat.
He's a really, really cool guy. Like, he's
I don't
super
know
chill.
how he is on camera, though.
He's been on camera before. They've met Akshay, haven't
Have y'all
they?
met Akshay?
Have you guys met Akshay?
All right, so here's a question for you, right? What kind of projects has Susie been working on, and what's it like being the best programmer at an indie game company? Did you get another job somewhere?
No. Let's just say real quick, you guys don't know him very well, but Steven by far is the best programmer at our company.
I don't know. The problem is we've got so much incredible programming talent.
Actually, that's
right?
true. Between Steven,
Mike,
and Mark,
all of them. Like,
all of them are incredible.
Amazing.
And
our
Andy has years of experience.
So we have a layer of seniority in the programming team that any one of them really at another indie company would be like CTO or chief architect or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a really tough one. It's kind of a toss-up.
It is. Right? I don't know who. I mean, Steven's my mentor, so I have favoritism towards him.
That's fair enough.
So
and he has chickens.
And he has chickens.
And so I give him some credit for that.
Yes.
Right? He hasn't brought me any eggs though, so I'm going to subtract points.
Oh yeah.
For that.
His eggs were really good.
Oh, he brought you eggs?
He brought me eggs.
You're fucking kidding me. This is ridiculous, Steven. If you were watching, you're dead to me.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you that.
Cannot believe he brought you eggs.
To answer the question on what I'm working on.
Oh yeah. What are you working on?
You guys, if you saw me last time on stream, you saw the character sheets that Lars and I worked on together. The new character sheets that are coming in 5.3.
So okay, I want to pause on that just for a second. So here's the thing that's really weird, right? So you guys play the game, and as you're playing the game, usually. You would assume that we would work on things in order of playability, like to make the game playable. We don't at all. Like we work on things in order of hey, what's really risky and scary? Well, let's do that first. Hey, what's this person really good at? Oh, well, here's a task that would be good for them. Like, it's a weird, like, tangled mess to decide what things slot in where, and it gets tied up in other weird stuff like, well, this vendor doesn't have this plug-in ready, and therefore we have to do this in the meantime. Like, it's a very bizarre thing.
True.
So it's bizarre to me, even knowing all that we are over 2 years in, right, since the Kickstarter, and we don't have a character sheet in the game. I mean, it's an RPG, and the basic, like, fundamental first thing you start with in D&D, when they started, they're like, I have an idea. It's a character sheet, right?
Yeah,
it's like the basic concept of an RPG depends on, first, the character sheet. And we didn't have one until just recently. So I'm delighted to see we've got it.
Yes, we do.
I have heard a rumor that it's still a little buggy.
It's not that buggy anymore. I spent a long time making that thing like really fast and not so buggy.
I hear things. I've heard.
Oh.
I've got a new fake Akshay. Okay, so what are you working on to finish out this conversation?
Well, we have shown you that new tooltips are coming.
Okay.
So I will be writing new not tooltips. I said tooltips. It's because all I think about is tooltips, and they were talking about it in chat. We have new skill trees coming.
Oh, yeah. No,
we did show you the new skill trees, and that is my next big project, is bringing you the beautiful new skill trees.
They are. So they're beautiful, and we've got some outstanding questions that we owe you guys. After we put out the last update about skill training, there was a lot of feedback, some of it positive, some of it negative, a ton of feedback on the design for it, and it was enough that I grabbed Blair and I said, we need to take another look at this. So it's not just showing off the new system. It's not just showing off Billy's pretty new interfaces. It's also going back and answering those questions for you and residing that. So I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't do that very often. I really like this design. Like, I think we actually nailed it on this one. I think when I sat down and went through it with Blair, we talked around it a whole bunch. It wasn't a perfect, like, everybody loves it solution. We had to compromise. But once we actually got all the compromises together, I think it's really solid. We sat down with Raph Koster when he came in town a couple weeks ago. We went through the whole thing with him. And then after we wrote it up, I sent him the final version, and he responded with a 2-word response, which was, looks great, which is almost unheard of. Like, he has opinions about everything, right? So I think we're in a really good track now. So that's going to be coming to you guys very, very soon.
So you just... You built it up so high in telling them what some of these changes are, and you're not even going to tell them.
Oh, no, there's an update coming. I'm not going to blow a big news like that and not get a Tuesday, Thursday update out of it. So we live and die to come up with updates to keep you guys informed on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I could milk that one for 2, I think, but I'm not going to do that.
You could milk it for 2.
I could milk it for 2. In fact, actually, now, okay, we have 2 updates coming in the future.
2 updates about skills.
That are going to show you skills and training and bonus points. I have another thing that I've been meaning to get to for a long time and saying we'll do it eventually. We managed to rope that into this design as well. So this is a good one. This is a good design. I like it. I think your guys are going to be like, yeah, no, he's right. This is a good design.
You know, speaking as a pretty hardcore MMO player myself, I think you guys are really going to like this design.
No,
like,
it's good. It's a good one.
It's really good.
And you'll notice my temptation all the time is to downplay and try and set expectations low. So the fact that I'm actually saying, no, this one's good, it's solid, I think that says something. Or you guys will roast me on the forums, and if so, I deserve it because I didn't set expectations correctly.
That's true. And now I backed it too, so maybe they'll roast me back. I won't be the golden
roasting, I think.
I think they put me on too high of a pedestal. They do probably have to knock me down.
They seem to think you're the best programmer we have.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, everybody knows Bentley is the best programmer we have. Everybody knows. It's because he has vegan skills, power level 7.
He's not a vegan. He's a vegetarian.
It's the same thing.
He eats eggs.
It's the same thing.
He didn't get Steven eggs,
though, I was going to say, if Bentley got Steven eggs, I was about to go batshit crazy.
I don't think he got Steven eggs, but... Okay. Are you ready to swap in for Aislinn?
So Blazin, since today's stream is about race class split, is that what it's about?
That is what Akshay has been working on.
Okay, but this isn't really Akshay. But
if Aislinn wants to talk about race class split.
I didn't know that was the topic. I'm happy to talk about it. We talk about it. What did you want to know? Can you tell us how racial skill training will work? I'm going to in that update. Huh? It's going to come. If it's not as good as the hype you're starting, then Blair shall be shamed for it. I think that is a great idea.
You want to shame Blair for it?
I think that is a fantastic idea. I give him gold, and if he can't spin it into golden thread, it's not on me. It's not on me. It's not my fault.
Blair works really, really hard.
I know
too.
he does. And the sad thing is that what I just said is absolutely not true. Everything here ultimately is my fault. The buck stops with me. There's nothing here that isn't in some way my fault. So I give people shit, but I take it. It's mine. It's mine.
That's
you guys
fair.
can roast me. If this one's bad, roast me. If it's good, you'll roast me too. So that's all right. All right.
Okay,
you wanna step off and come back and visit later?
I'm happy to tag off if Aislin's ready to jump in.
All right, let's do that. She looks terrified.
She looks terrified.
It's gonna be good. It's good.
I think she's
good.
more afraid of the players than I am.
It's good. Well, this is worse. This isn't just the players. This is the players and me.
It's fun. You're fun. You're just, it's more fun heckling with Blair a little bit, but you're fun because you heckle back a little bit more.
Dana said that's a future Todd problem. It's not. Yeah, it is a future Todd problem. Because screw that guy.
Screw future Todd?
Oh, yeah, I always screw future Todd.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the problem is past Todd screws me constantly, right? I'm constantly screwed by that guy, but he's in the past, so he's immune. I can't do anything to him. So the only thing I can do is get revenge by taking that problem, whatever pile of poop he left for me, making it a little worse, and kicking it into the future to future Todd, because screw that guy.
Fair.
You see how it works
Fair,
now?
yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty upset with past Susie right now for screwing up my PAX flights.
For agreeing to step in right now?
No, I'm still upset that I booked the wrong tickets for PAX. That was a big mistake.
All right, well, thank you for joining me. We will talk about race class stuff. I don't know if that's true, but
you can
anyway,
try.
Here comes the new Akshay.
Real Akshay's here now.
All right, he can join us too in a little bit, but you're here. All right, hold on. We're transitioning. Oh, they can still see the bar. I'll come back to just, I'll leave it on the bar for a second. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you about a sale. Now a message from Totino's Pizza Rolls. So there's the sale. It's, dun, dun, dun. All right, 50% off on the Arkan Greatsword Relic statue for the next 24 hours. Ish. I mean, come on. We're not, what are we, robots? We don't really know exactly when it's going to happen. So more or less 24 hours. Could be a little more, could be a little less. If you want one, there's no reason to wait. Go ahead and grab it. Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Yeah, they're the best. Everybody loves them.
So what am I supposed to talk about / what am I allowed to talk about?
That's a fantastic question. So I'm glad you asked. So you won't find out what you weren't supposed to talk about until right after you've talked about it.
That is true.
That is the way it's going to work.
Okay.
So generally we just kind of talk about things. So let's start by introducing you. Do they know you?
I mean, every live stream I've been on is with Greg, so this is new.
So you're Greg's.
I'm the other effects artist.
I was gonna say.
I'm
protege,
Aislinn.
sidekick,
Protege?
business partner, like what?
I like to think protege.
Desk
Greg
mate,
watching?
neighbor, desk neighbor.
Desk neighbor. That's nice.
Desk neighbor. And you are also 50% of our particle effects team.
50 seems high, but a lot.
By weight or by age? Or like I'd say 50% because there's two of you.
There
that
are
seems,
two. Yeah,
seems reasonable.
That seems reasonable. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm Aislinn. I do effects. Is Greg watching? What time is it there? I don't even know.
Because you're going to trash him now. That's what's about to happen. Because you're going to trash him. No, Greg is not watching.
No, I miss Greg. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you say that now.
Oh.
Okay, so which effects have you done that you're super proud of? And which effects, second question, has Greg done that you are not?
No.
Okay, now the first part of that question was true. Give him some examples, because we just say effects artist. So, like, what have you done? What Ranger powers did you do?
So Ranger was actually before me. I did help kind of like go through and like, clean up some stuff. But
Okay, what have you done?
I think I started around the time Druid was there, but I was still kind of learning things.
Okay,
so
there's some cool ones.
Greg,
Tell me what you did. Tell me what Drew
Greg had to help me with a lot of them, but I worked on Will-O-Wisps, a bunch of the healing tray stuff.
Did you do the blink?
Nope, that was Greg.
That's
so
a good
I
one.
think the for archetypes after that I worked on with Greg were Myrmidon, Duelist, and Templar. And I think I really kind of like a lot of the Templar stuff because it's kind of shiny and sparkly.
So I will say, so this is, and guys, so just so you know, division of labor, you probably realized by now I'm not a detail person. Like, I will look at the concepts, be like, oh yeah, those look pretty cool. The first time I saw that spinny Minotaur power, I was like, what in the hell is wrong with you people? Like, every other particle effect, I'm like, beef it up, a little more pizzazz, give me a little more, come on people, smile, give me some love. Something. And then this Minotaur thing is like this bizarre swirling supernova of yellow brightness that blinds my eyes. And it's still in there, isn't it? Or have you toned it back a little?
I think it's been significantly toned down. It also doesn't hang around as much anymore. But
All right.
it's there. You know what's happening. You're whirling around and being a cool little Minotaur spinny man.
Okay, so I'll give you guys a little insight into how things work around the office. So when I read a forum, it basically is pages and pages and pages of telling me that I should do my job a little better. Fair enough. Good point, valid point, probably true. What I do then is I go pass that pain on to everyone else in the organization by walking desk to desk and doing the same thing to all of them. So, and that basically is how the game gets great.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In theory, that's right. That's where we're going, right?
That is good. That is good. Player feedback is great. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I've actually been talking to a lot of like the guilds here. They're a lot of fun. They're doing shots right now.
I just have to point out that Blazin', that's a fantastic fucking Blair burn. Is the PCM broken thing? Is that, hey, Minotaurs are locked are toned down a lot now since they don't have enough fury to use their powers anymore. That was good, dude. I appreciate that one. I'm going to pass that. I'm going to actually take that back from Europe and go knock on Blair's desk, which is what I do. I go and I sit on the corner of his desk. I'm like, hey, I want to talk about something. I'm going to bring that one up and let him know that he was burned, and I brought it back from Europe because that's pretty good feedback.
Can you print out a Twitch chat thing, just lay it on his desk and walk away?
So somebody out there, give a screenshot of that and just send it to me at support@crowfall.com.
Player feedback. It's helpful.
I know Gordon's now shaking his head like, that doesn't go to you. That's going to have to filter back to you. So, okay, here's the deal. Every one of those that comes in, would you just pass those to Blair for me? That's fair, right? Gordon's with me now. Passing, it's a little pain for him and his people that ends up in a lot more pain for Blair. He's now back in. I want him back.
Poor Blair. I feel like Blair gets roasted a lot of these.
Well, he's in design. We do. We take the
true.
brunt of the heat. That's part of the job. He's a big boy. He can handle it. He's got thick skin. I mean, this is not his first rodeo, and so I'll just say, generally speaking, there's never consensus on any design decision you make. You make any decision, and there's some percentage of players that are going to hate it, and they're the only ones who bother to tell you their feedback. The ones who are cool with it, they don't feel driven to log into the forums and give you their feedback. Occasionally they do, but most of the time it's heavily lopsided to negative feedback. So you just kind of have to embrace that. You just have to take that smoldering bit of hate and you bury it deep in your chest and you nurture it with alcohol until it smolders into a nice, fine, burning fire that makes you, in your crunch time periods, think, no one is going to make me not ship this game. This game is going to come out. You're young. You don't know. You'll see. Jess just showed up. Jess, you know.
I have to build the spite more. Oh. He said he's lying if it didn't catch up on him. Now I know. Now I know the secret. Thank you. Thank you all for teaching me this valuable lesson.
Yes. Don't worry. You'll get it. We'll figure it all out.
Oh, man.
We're having a great time out here watching you guys, by the way.
Oh, here. Are y'all still up on the screen? I don't think you are anymore.
Up on the big screen.
Yeah, we are, but the crowd is not. So I'm going to do a little crowd. I'm going to do a little crowd again.
Make it magic.
Bam.
Woo!
I'm the OBS master.
It's not Jack anymore.
No, and I just want to point out,
that-
Jack, that for all the issues that we've had in the office, just want to point this out, this copy of OBS is in German, which I don't speak. Watch this. Bam.
Whoa.
Bam. Bam. That's right.
Uber Gong. Uber Gang?
Yeah.
How do
Uber gang, or gong. I think it means transition.
Oh, now we know.
So I know what that one button. I know what that one.
We know a little bit of German now.
So you should hear what Jack says about you in private. Actually, I shouldn't, because I should never hear what people say about me in private, because it doesn't go well for them.
Oh no. Yeah. I can see that being a thing. I like how I've just avoided not talking about any
Race class?
Yeah.
Well, that's the topic.
That is
of
the
topic.
Hour.
It's very charged issues, right?
That is true.
Racism in America, classism in America. It's a very charged thing. I'm a little reluctant to just wade into those waters.
Who are we to figure this out?
But I will say that centaurs clearly are a superior race. That I think that's not arguable.
On amount of legs?
They have 50% more.
They have 50%.
No, wait, they have 100% more. Humans have 50% less. Is that right?
That's a sad way to think about it.
Math is not a friend to me.
They have more leg, same arms.
Yeah.
The animators love it.
So in the demos today, by the way, so I'm going through all these press demos, and I have a bunch of stuff I'm trying to show off, and at some point in about halfway through the meetings, I find myself on the crafting page and I notice necromancy. So I take a side tour into talking about digging up desiccated centaur legs and using them to create a centaur body. And I start getting the most puzzled expressions out of the press you can imagine. So from that point on, it was a beat in every single demo. Every one I did, I made sure that I talked about desiccated centaur bodies. Because it's weird, and weird is cool, and I get tired of talking about the same stuff every time.
And people remember weird. Yeah.
That is probably true. I think that it is fairly safe to bet that we have the strangest and I think coolest necromancy idea in any MMO ever.
Yeah, that is true. It's definitely the most hands-on necromancy
yes,
ever get to. And you are the necromancy.
Deal. It is the real deal necromancy. We're not screwing around. This isn't just all right, I cast a spell and a zombie appears kind of necromancy.
You have to know what you're doing.
No. This ain't your grandma's necromancy.
Is that the tagline? Is that when we need to say that at the booth now?
That's the new topic for this session. Is no longer about race class. It is now called "This Ain't Your Grandma's Necromancy."
Can Jack change the title of this Twitch stream?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh man. But
all
yeah.
Right, so what are you working on right now? When you get back to the office and you shake all this craziness off, and you look up from your desk, and Greg is shaking his head at you like he does. And Melissa's like, don't worry, it'll be okay. What are you working on next?
Am I allowed to talk about what I'm working on?
Yeah, sure.
The cleric?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can.
we've been working on the effects for the cleric. Oh yeah, I forgot. That had been yeah, I forget what has and has not. So we're working on the effects for the cleric, which has actually been a lot of fun. For the same reason as the Templar has been, because it's very light based, very we get to work with a lot of sparkles and streaks of light.
Yeah, so there's some really cool Templar effects. So this is a challenge in general with game development, which is that people who work on a task and use a set of tools get better over time at doing that. So what happens is inevitably the knight sucks. That's, I guess, what I'm getting at. Is his particle effects are kind of lame. His powers are the most limited and just not as interesting because the tool set was so small and nobody's bothered to really fix his balance, which is sad because I actually really enjoyed playing that character back in the day. So to any knights that are out there, I'm going to fix that as well.
And I actually think Greg went through and kind of did a pass on all the knight effects recently and kind of brought them back up.
Did he? I wouldn't know. I haven't played it because chain pull is broken and Blair won't fix it.
Blair. But yeah.
Screenshots. Send them to support, please.
And then have Gordon send them straight to Blair. It's just, yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, Dave made some really cool weapon trail concepts that we've been kind of facing and other concepts, and it's really nice to have like those concepts to work off of because then it's like kind of much more unified.
So okay, so when you guys sat down, take me through this and take these guys through this. It's kind of interesting. So Greco will sit down. Does he talk to you guys first before he does his concepts for the particle effects?
Normally, it starts with like Melissa and Greg normally talk to the animators because the animators do their animations normally beforehand, and they kind of see what the animations look like.
Okay.
And then Melissa, Greg, and Dave will kind of talk about a general direction for the look of them, and they'll normally do a draw over on like an animation still. And I think that's what gets released to the website a lot.
Yeah, we put out the little, those are basically particle effect concepts.
Yeah.
And they usually get run past me at some point in there. But to be honest, that's one of the areas where I don't dig in as much as I do other things. Like Ganesian hats, I'm going to like be all over you about Ganesian hats. But it's like Whirly, Myrmidon, that's about, okay, make it look really cool. And if I think it looks really lame once it's in the game, then I'm definitely going to let you know. But generally speaking, I kind of trust you guys to get it done a little bit more than I trust, Dave to concept the Ganesian hats.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. It's just I pick things at random and people have to deal with it.
It's fun whenever you come over, even though like I'm like normally like so focused, I get a bit spooked whenever people come into the corner.
So I actually scare Aislinn. Like she has her headset on and she's working, and I'll kind of creep up behind her, and then I'll jump like 4 feet and land on her desk. Well, not on her desk. I'll land right next to her.
Like an eagle.
And she'll, like an eagle. Oh! And then she freaks out. Everybody laughs. It's a good time. No lawsuits so far. It's awesome. Love it.
Doggett does it too. It's okay. It's just I get so like focused and it's like in that little corner and it's just like I don't have any peripheral vision. It's just, but yeah, that's how it normally works. And then we get the animations, we get the concept from Dave, and then like Greg and I normally talk about it. I just saw the corner of my eye. Doggett, I broke them all. I'm not sure what that's referring to, but it's terrifying. But yeah, and then we work from there.
Oh, Doggett's breaking chairs.
Oh, while he was filming his Murder of Crows, and they had a very like wimpy chain. He broke a chain. He's Doggett, breaker of chains.
Okay.
Adds to his titles.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So what is of all the particle effects that you have done? If I just let you go back and fix one, if I was like, you know what, take today and you can go back to the one that you hate the most and totally redo it, which one would it be?
I mean, most recently, because it's still fresh in my mind, there's a cleric one. Greg will know which one it is because it's in the JIRA ticket. I crossed out everything before I left that was done, and I put this one in parentheses. I'm not happy with it yet.
Okay.
It's just one of the cleric abilities. I just have not been able to get the way I want it in like my head and kind of in the concepts. And when I get back, I'm going to do that one.
I've got a question for you. So you do a particle effect like, I don't know, Druid Blink. I know you didn't do it, but let's say you did. So it goes and she's singing, there's a view, and it's really cool. And then there's a little spray of dust.
Yeah.
So the little spray of dust is the underlying math of that, right? There's actually like math curves that determine how wide it spreads, how quickly it spreads, how bright they turn over what period of time, how much they fall off, do they have gravity?
Yeah.
How much do you guys actually have to do math?
Most of it is just like a little bit of trigonometry. I normally like, it's just.
So a lot.
I had
you do
to
a lot
learn
of math. I never took trigonometry.
Well, Greg is actually really good at math.
I don't know what trigonometry is.
It's like the triangle, sine, cosine, because it's like spinning along an axis along a period of time.
Making stuff up. That's not a thing.
I actually am like double checking if I got the right name for it because Greg is actually really amazing at math and he's kind of like taught me a lot of it. But that's sort of what we use it for, just like saying this is where it's supposed to be. This is sort of the curve it's supposed to be on in that point of time and like that kind of stuff.
So some math.
It's one of those things I learned in like middle school or high school and was just like I'm never gonna use this, and then now I have to. So stay in school, kids.
There you go. Nicely done. And now a note from Totino's Pizza Rolls. Hey, look, what's this little thingy down here? What's this thing, Aislinn?
What?
What is that? It
There's
looks
a beer
really
right
cool.
there.
No, that's my beer. This thing on the screen. Can you see the screen?
That right there is an Archon Greatsword relic for 29.
You should know our gods' names well enough to be able to spell them or say them correctly. So I want one of these. How can I get such a thing? Aislinn, particle effects artist.
Is it on the
And
website?
50% of particle. Yeah, of course it's on the website.
Okay.
Everything is on the
I
website.
thought it was a trick question. It's on the website.
You're not very good at this game.
I know. Wait, was I supposed to answer?
All right,
it on
so
the website?
in honor of our Gamescom thing, we're doing a sale every day, 24-hour sales, 24 with a little asterisk because it's 24 or thereabouts. Today's sale is the Archon Greatsword Relic. Right there for 50% off, which is $29.99. Which isn't technically exactly 50%. I know that because of math.
Okay.
Just saying. That's the level of math I can do. That's it,
Okay.
like right there.
That's
like
good.
that doesn't seem like that would be right. And then I'm done.
Wait, Doggett's destroying my chair? Why? What did I do?
You also did something to my desk. You left something nasty there.
Why? Are you leaving things at people's desks? I'm sorry, Doggett. Whatever did I do? Oh, no. Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
All right. It looks like we've got another replacement Akshay.
We've got a Tommy.
We've got the Akshay of the hour.
Okay. Should I switch out? How does...
I think you should switch out. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for coming
Thank you.
and sharing the wonderful details of your job.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for spoiling the cleric, by the way.
Wait, was it... What?
No, you're good.
Oh, God.
You're totally fine.
Terrified.
You're totally fine.
Let's see if I can get this thing on.
There you go.
Hey, Todd. How's it
Hey,
going?
how's it going, Tommy?
Pretty good.
I have an important question for you.
Okay.
I've heard a rumor,
A rumor.
a very concerning rumor,
Uh-oh.
that you maybe got some eggs from Steven.
I did not get any eggs from Steven.
He did not bring you eggs.
He did not bring me eggs.
All right,
But
that's cool.
I think he brought Susie some eggs.
Yeah, I know. I heard that, and that's not going to stand.
No?
No,
Why
this is
can't-
a problem.
Why can't we get Steven eggs?
I want Steven eggs. He hasn't
Oh.
brought me eggs. He's
Oh.
got his own chickens. He
I see.
raises chickens.
Yeah?
I want some eggs.
I think you're a little bit jealous.
I'm envious, I think would be a better word, and I'm grabby. I want the eggs.
Maybe you should get some of your own chickens.
I can't have chickens in my neighborhood. Thanks
No?
for rubbing it in.
I didn't
No.
know.
No, and I can't build a hawk muse either.
No.
No, this neighborhood's sounding worse and worse, isn't it? Now that I say it aloud.
I don't think we should move there.
Yeah.
We should probably find a new neighborhood.
Yeah. So I thought they were saying X and not eggs. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Steven is our drug dealer in the office. No, but okay. Pop quiz. One of our programmers did drag a cart into the office within the last 2 weeks that said the acid cart. Is that what it said? It was up in the front in the lobby.
I think that was Mr. Mike.
It was you correctly named that developer who was headed to Burning Man. I'm sure that's not actually what it was about. But
I think
anyway,
he repainted it.
did he? All
I
right.
think so.
I actually never asked. I don't ask. I don't care. It's not my business. I bring it to the office is a little weird, but whatever. You know.
Yeah, I don't know why he brought it
I
in the
got bigger
office.
fish to fry.
Yeah.
I got bigger eggs to fry. So. Yes. Oh, they rainbow hair. Yes, this cart was also rainbow painted. Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Mike doesn't have the rainbow hair anymore, actually.
No, well, first,
He
I
is
think all the...
bald now. He shaved it off.
Yeah, I think he got... I guess he had the color before he shaved it off.
Yeah.
Right? But before that, he was just blonde,
Yeah.
I think. Or
Yeah.
bleached blonde.
But now it's all gone.
Yeah. And then
Shaved it off.
it started growing out again. I think he just shaved it off again. So
Probably.
he might keep it short from now on.
He's at Burning Man now. So I will say that I had an agreement with him before he went to Burning Man, and that is that we made sure that the entire source code repository was put in escrow so that if North Korea decided to nuke Austin while he was out of town, because Austin is evidently on North Korea's nuclear weapons attack plan. So if he did, it was on Mike to get that source code out of escrow, finish this freaking game, and get it to you guys.
That's dedication right there.
That is, yeah. I told him it was on him. If we all got blown to hell, it was on Mike. So I expect you guys to hold him to that.
Well, hopefully we don't get blown up.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's plan A. I'm just thinking of contingencies here.
Yeah, it's definitely better safe than sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So backing up. So you are not Akshay.
That's true. I'm not Akshay.
So why don't you introduce yourself for those of us who are just joining?
Okay.
Just joining the program.
My name's Tommy.
K-Crow. KROW, Crow 99 FM.
Yeah, so now, my name's Tommy, and I've been with Crowfall for about a year now. I'm a programmer.
Has it been a year?
It has been.
Wow.
Last June was when I started. It's crazy. I started at the same time as Susie and Asa and all of them.
Yeah. But you were not an intern.
Correct.
But you pretend to be one on television.
Yes, I pretended to be an intern. Well, I was never on the intern stream in that first Crowfall.
Oh, they didn't let you in.
Well, I left. I went home. No one told me we were going to do a stream for all the new people.
Somebody is shocking that you are not Akshay. I think they've met Akshay. Anyway, they will. Before the night is out, there will be Akshay.
He will come on. But yeah, so some of the things I've worked on, being able to place parcels in the kingdom, the whole parcel tool, placing buildings.
Which became the map as well, the world map.
Correct. And so then, by extension, the world map, which is a little bit different than building your EK.
It is. However, they both suffer from the same bug, which is that the icons don't show up on the map. Have I told you that? Have I mentioned that to you?
Maybe a couple times.
Okay. All right.
But we're on it.
So here's the worst thing. So Gamescom, you have to submit a build of the game to demo like 6 weeks or 2 months before you actually show up at Gamescom. So right now, having demoed for the last 48 hours, I'm actively bitching at team members about bugs that they fixed like a month ago because they're bugging me right now. And this is one of those, right?
Yes.
Isn't it fixed in the current build?
It is fixed.
Is it though?
I'm 99% sure.
All right.
I haven't been able to test it lately.
All right. Fair enough.
But yeah, the same kind of thing's happening with the volunteers. They'll mention some bug to me.
People are saying, Tommy, check your phone.
Check my what?
Check your phone.
Check my phone?
And now they're saying, Tommy, check Todd's phone. He's not allowed to check my phone.
I don't know if I should check phones. Should I?
I don't know if we have reception. So,
All I have is
I'll
Wi-Fi.
reference. So this big party thing that you guys are seeing over here is that way for us, which means that we are this way in a little alcove. And I don't think we get any cell reception in the alcove.
Yeah, I don't get cell reception. I get like a spotty Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah.
All I have right now is Doggett reacted to my selfie with him and with me and Max that I sent him with the heart face.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that like literally you're spamming us with Tommy, check your phone? Is that what it was?
Well, it was Doggett that asked.
Doggett, that's what it was. It was a thumbs up, like emoticon, emoji.
See, I sent him this picture, and he sent the little. I wonder if I can show this off to the stream. There we are. It's me and Max. Max has a funny face.
Liked by Doggett. Doggett, the only guy I know who likes every comment he makes on Facebook.
Yeah, well, so you know that when he's when it's not actually him, or if he got kidnapped or something, and
the only person I know that actually posts on Facebook not as themselves is Doggett. So who the else would it be?
Well, so you know when Doggett hasn't
what I
liked his
hear
own
right
post.
now is that you repeating to me the bullshit reasons Doggett gave you for why he likes his own comments.
Yes.
And I can't believe that you're repeating that to me. You know it's ridiculous, right?
It is ridiculous. But Doggett is a generally ridiculous guy.
There's a little of that.
But people love him.
But do they love him or John O'Neill more?
I'm hearing that John O'Neill is rising in the polls.
I have heard that too. Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it, though.
All right, what else have you done? It's got to be something. You've been here a year.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are some pretty big systems. I've done a bunch of...
Socketing? Building socketing?
Well, yeah, that's part of the building system, yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. That's a big deal.
Sure.
You got to toot your own horn, Tommy. I'm not always going to be here to do it for you.
Okay. Yeah, so we have the placement of the buildings on the ground, right? But if you want to be nice and precise with placing them, we have a socketing system. And so we have different types of sockets, and so you need the same type of socket to connect to the other one, basically. And so, for example, if you have a nice straight wall, and you place one down, then you just move the other one close so that the sockets touch. And then it snaps the two pieces together, so when you place it, they're nice and flush.
I know. That's really cool, but tell me more. Tell me more.
And so we have a lot of different pieces like that.
And then what do we add on top of that because the pieces didn't always fit up nicely.
Yeah, so we have another system, which is the smart socketing system.
That's right. Correct.
Yeah.
You passed the test on the system that you worked on for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Or 3 months.
And so certain pieces, like Todd said, don't line up properly when you just socket them together.
Oh, he's saying you're supposed to have checked your messenger. Don't do it now. Don't do it now.
I can do it later.
You can do it later.
And so, for example, the tower, we used to have a connector piece. You would connect the connector piece to the tower,
Right.
and then you could connect another, like a wall piece, to the connector. But that was kind of clunky. So we ended up
obnoxious.
building them into the pieces that they would attach to.
So the tower's now smart enough to recognize what you're attaching to it and pops the right connector on for
Right,
you.
right.
Automatically.
Automatically.
Very
So
cool.
that not only saves time for the players that are trying to build, but makes the system like simpler overall and easier to understand. And so we've done a little bit with that, and I'm sure we'll make the system.
Hey, you know what else I noticed today, by the way, when I was
What?
playing? The camera doesn't zoom back appropriately when I'm trying to place these buildings. What's up with that?
I hear that bug's been fixed in a more recent build.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Unless you want me
it
to
was
extend it even more.
Totally annoying. No. I'm not suggesting that. I'm not suggesting anything except that it's a really annoying bug.
We'll have to see when we get back to
That
the
should
office.
have never been there.
You gotta start somewhere.
That is true.
And
That's
then
fair point.
You start somewhere, and
Fair
then you
point.
can build off of that. You can make it better.
All right.
Test out the different values.
All right. So how have you enjoyed Gamescom?
I've enjoyed it a lot so far. I was a little bit stressed coming in because I've never really worked in this kind of setting before.
Yeah. Have you been to a big convention at all?
Nothing this big. The biggest
Well, there is really, except for China Joy, there is nothing this big. But there are other ones that are comparable, right? Like E3 is really big.
Right.
This one's it's big. PAX. All the PAXs are big.
Yeah. Except PAX South isn't that big.
PAX South is not, but it is growing.
Yeah. That's
and the Rooster Teeth conference is really big too. That's probably the biggest one in Austin.
Yeah. So I've been
Well,
to
gaming related, that's definitely the biggest one
Right.
in Austin. Right?
So I've been to PAX South, which is pretty small, and the Austin Games Conference.
Which is really small because it's just
Right.
Austin developers and some other people, but it's mostly Austin developers.
Yeah.
Right?
And then the Game Developers Conference, GDC, in San Francisco. Those are the three that I've really been to. But now I've been to Gamescom, and it's huge. And I hear in the coming days it gets even bigger.
That's what I've heard too, which I'm not looking forward to actually.
No, I swear that
I don't
even
like people in my face. That'll bother me.
even between the first day and the second day, I think it got bigger.
Yeah.
But everyone gets off on Saturday, right? So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's the day off of school and it's the day off of work, so it's going to be batshit crazy.
yeah, I just hope that the neighboring booths aren't too loud.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're getting older. If it's too loud, you're too old, Tommy.
Well, I don't know. When no one can hear each other.
Yeah, it sucks. When we're trying to demo and it sucks. So I want to do a quick shout out to all of the volunteers who came to help us out at the conference this year. We've had a number of people that came to just because they wanted to be cool and help us out, came to help us man the booth so that we could try and get the flow through going as quickly as possible so that as many people as wanted to check out the game would have a chance to. And left to our own devices, there's no way we could have done it. So I want to do that. Sadly, they're not watching this stream. They're all in this room, and none of them can hear me.
Yeah,
But
they can see us talking.
They can
but
see us talking. So I'm giving a shout out to them anyway. Maybe later they'll watch the stream and scrub through all the stupid Doggett stuff, and eventually they'll find this thing and they'll be like, oh, that's cool, thanks.
Yeah, they were definitely amazing. They've been going above and beyond, and I'm really, really happy.
They're also
here.
really good at the game, and that helps a lot.
Yes, that definitely helps.
All right.
They really know their stuff. They really know how to play.
All right, so will there be another backer party next year? I don't know. I think we probably have to get through this year before we really figure out what next year looks like. But I mean, we've got some pretty big milestones coming between now and then, right? So between now and then, the game will be out. So what are we going to do? Are we going to celebrate that? Are we still going to pitch it? I don't know yet. Is the honest answer. So we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I do love these opportunities to get a chance to have face-to-face with people. I think it's really cool. So
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you went last year, right? But just
I did. And last year, basically, it was a barbecue. It was smaller than this. But it did end up at the end of the night with me and basically a bunch of the Caldera guys sitting around a table, drinking beer, eating barbecue, and them hitting me with questions and figuring out. I think they were surprised by the fact that I curse a lot when I drink a lot. So, which you could probably ask some of our teammates that because they learned that last night.
Yeah.
I think they already probably knew. All right, so now you check your messenger from Doggett if you
Okay.
have service, which I doubt you don't, or I doubt you do.
Oh, Doggett sent me a picture of him lying across my desk. Doggett's lying on my
Okay,
desk.
that was. I actually am not drunk. Somebody just said I sound drunk. No, when I'm drunk, you'll know because I'll drop a lot more F-bombs. I did stay up until 3 in the morning last night drinking, and I had to do demos, and I had to get up about 7:30 this morning, and I've been demoing every 30 minutes. I did 14 demos before this live stream, so I might be a little punch drunk, but I'm actually not drunk at all. This is my second beer, and I haven't really touched it yet. So
Yeah, I really have no idea how you're actually still functioning.
the night is young, my friend.
Yeah.
The night is young. So you still sound drunk. I kind of always do, though.
I
It's
mean,
just a thing.
You're a very excited person.
I am a very excited person, and I live on adrenaline.
Yeah, I don't know where. I mean, I guess you get it from your love of the game, right?
Yeah, and actually my love of this process, right? So there's two parts to building a game. Where one is like the game that you set out to build, and then the other is the game with the team that you assemble, the game that you discover, and the game that emerges over the course of the development cycle. And they end up being different things. If you do a good job, the original vision was solid enough that it shines through really brightly at the end. But that initial thing was very fuzzy, and it starts to have real texture and real resonance. So by the end, you end up with something that's really, really cool. Nobody knows what that's going to be. And it's impossible to predict because it's a cooperative thing that all of the team members together add to make it. So everybody brings a part to it. And if one person was gone and somebody else was there, it would be a different game. So getting to see the team gel together and getting to see that game from all of us emerge out of that original spark or vision is incredibly gratifying and incredibly addictive. So maybe that's what you guys are seeing is that I'm addicted to that process, that creative process of working with a team to bring a vision to life. So, and this is my 4th chance to do it, which means I've been incredibly blessed. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm incredibly fortunate. You guys are to thank, well, not you personally, and certainly not Doggett, but the rest of you and all the others. And you guys are to thank for that. And this one's been interesting because this is the first time we've kind of been allowed to do it by ourselves, and we only have to answer to the players and eventually to how the game turns out. We don't have people that are sitting on top of us holding the purse strings going, well, now we want you to do this. And now we're not going to pay you unless you do that. So that's a whole different experience. It changes everything completely.
Yeah, and we've partnered with Travian, but they've been really awesome about everything, right?
What's that?
I said, and we've partnered with Travian, but they've been pretty
Oh,
hands-off.
Travian's been awesome. Yeah, so Travian, you got to remember, Travian, they're a game developer at their heart. They are now acting as a publisher, but they didn't grow up as a publisher. They grew up as a game developer, so they get it, right? They also grew up as a community development, like community-focused company. But that's how they're around, right? Is they built this great game and this amazing community that has stuck with them for years and years and years and years. That's the kind of company I want to build, right? That's the kind of company Gordon wants to build. We are in the community building service, really. You guys, you're why we're here. And if we get the chance to keep doing this for the next 10 years, which I really hope we do, it'll be because of you guys and other people like you. So
Yeah, it's really awesome.
it is really cool. It's a direct connection that you don't get if you were just like in the retail box world,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm just gonna make Assassin's Creed #7 and we're gonna ship it out. You didn't have. Now they're starting to get it too, though, because everything's online.
Right.
But for a long time they didn't. They had kind of indirect feedback.
Yeah.
I talked to Mr. Mike, who used to be on the Origin games, and he was telling me they had a wall where they would post letters from their fans, and that was their feedback loop,
Yeah.
which is really funny, right?
Yeah. Back in the day when people sent letters, right?
So, okay, so I had a question. Are some of the developers from Shadowbane? So we've had a couple people rotate through that were. I'm the only one, though, that was with Shadowbane start to sell to Ubisoft. After the Ubisoft sale, I was gone.
Right.
but I was also creative director on it, so you could say I had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Thomas Sitch was with us for a while,
Right.
and he was on the original Shadowbane team. He actually left because he wanted to go do his own game.
Yeah.
And so he stuck around with us, and we parted on very good terms, right? That's one thing, is if somebody comes to me and says I'm leaving, and the reason I'm leaving is because I want to create my own game, I kind of can't argue with that, because that's exactly... and by the way, thank you for saying you're welcome, but you guys are amazing. That's exactly the kind of reason that I would leave if I were to leave a company, is because I want to go do my own game.
Right.
So my only real criteria when that happens, like when Thomas came and said it, is, okay, well, make sure that we have a transition and don't F the team.
Yeah.
Because if you screw the team, I will burn your house to the ground. But if you give us transition time and you help us learn what we need to learn, then I will actually help you in any way I can. I'll help you. I'll give you contacts. I'll give you advice. I won't give you any money. I'm not crazy, but I'll help you in any way that I can. So, yeah, I've had a few that have come through over the course of time, but primarily the main person who's been here throughout Shadowbane and through this project has been me. And I wish it had also included Joseph, my business partner, both at Wolfpack and at Kings Isle. But unfortunately, he decided to stay. I couldn't get him to leave. He decided to stay at Kings Isle. So maybe someday we'll work together again. I hope so.
We'll see. I mean, how's Kings Isle doing right now? Do you know?
I think they're doing well. They've transitioned largely to mobile, and so while I think they still love their MMOs, and the MMOs have made their bread and butter, I think they're trying to find some new challenges to go after. I don't really know, though, to be honest. I don't pay that much attention. I catch up with Joseph every now and then, but every time we do, with so much other stuff to talk about that we just don't get into the weeds of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Joseph and I, so I'll give you guys a little bit of history. There's a preview, I guess, of the Murder of Crows that John Gibson wants me to do, and I keep not getting to. Joseph and I were college roommates, and we were also the original two guys at Wolfpack, and then we were also the original two guys at Kings Isle, and then when I left here, it's the first time we hadn't had a chance to work together on these things. Which is weird for me, because you guys don't know me working with Joseph. The Kings Isle people that are with us do, but y'all don't.
Yeah.
But to me, I felt like I've had a missing kind of limb this whole time. Like, it's been very odd to me. It's just when it rains.
Yeah, but now you get to work with Gordon. You get to work with
I do,
Blair.
and that's been fantastic. I never had a chance to work with Gordon before. So I think the three of us would have been even more powerful. But, yeah, what can you do? You can't have everything you want.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Doggett, that's for you. You can't have everything you want, Doggett.
Maybe one day you'll be able to acquire him.
Get Joseph to come back in?
Yeah.
Yeah, acquire him would be that would be bold. This company would have to make a lot of money to be able to go and acquire Kings Isle. I'm not putting that on my list of expectations for this one. We made a niche project. Let's just make it good so that our audience loves it, and that's it. I'll be happy if we can do that. If we can convert half of our backers right now into monthly payers, we would be able to make this game for 10 years and make it amazing. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we will. We still got a bit of development left.
We do, and we'll pick up more backers along the way. And when we actually have a real game and not just a dream, we'll pick up a bunch of people there too. So,
yeah.
So I love these conferences. Well, generally I don't, but I love these conferences for one reason, which is it gives you a moment to recognize like how far we've come since the beginning. When I'm demoing all the systems today, I'm like, and then we have import-export, and I can show it to you working. And then I can drag around a mountain range in the kingdoms, and I can show you that working.
Yeah.
So it shows me how far we've come, and it really is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's crazy how far we've come even from when I joined just a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So where were we in the project when you started?
We still had Hunger Dome and Siege Perilous.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That was a year ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I'm not sure how soon after I joined we switched to Big World, but it wasn't too long after that we switched to Big World. Mm-hmm. And that was when we introduced crafting and harvesting.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we started working on Eternal Kingdoms after that, I believe.
Yes, and then now campaign. So yeah,
Right.
You're right. I mean, it's been a pretty. And in the meantime, we're picking up little things we need, like import-export and secure trading, and those are off the top of my head, right? We're picking that stuff up as well. So
yeah.
Hey, how come you haven't done mounts yet?
How come I haven't done mounts?
Just thought I'd throw it out there in case you would say, I did it last weekend, Todd. I'm glad you asked.
Unfortunately, I didn't.
All right.
We can get inside.
The answer I expected.
We can mount catapults.
It's not really the same though, is it?
No.
And it was kind of broken today a little bit in the demo. Targeting was off a little.
Yeah.
Whose bug was that? Was that yours? I bet it was
I don't
yours.
actually know. Probably Borland.
Well,
Or
I'm not going to bug him.
Maybe Andy.
Sad. Todd is sad. That's true.
Oh.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know. One day we'll get mounts. I'm not sure where that is on the
Durenthal
timeline.
said Big World went live November 1st. Is that actually true? I thought Big World went live in December. I struggle with remembering exact dates for things. I struggle with, I mean, I can't do it at all.
Yeah, I haven't really kept track of like when we've had our big milestones.
Yeah.
But I bet he's right. The players know the game better than we do.
So some time ago, you were talking about Adventure World. What happened to that? Our adventuring loop is definitely weak. I know that. I know it's coming. It's another damn thing we have to get to. I do have plans for it. I've actually spent a fair amount of time. I don't know that there needs to be a world for it. In fact, I don't want more than Kingdom campaign. I think that's enough. It'll be inside the campaigns primarily and a little bit inside the kingdoms. But I do know that we need to spend some real time on that. It is on my radar.
Got any other good questions here?
I don't know. Let's take a look. Oh, so Tennis, my assumption by adventure was the PvE experience, right? We don't want to not have any of PvE. We want to remove the need for PvE as a necessary ingredient to participate in PvP. But I think having a general threat level of monsters in the world is good. And having ways that I can guarantee that I can come up with things to do that allow me to make small bits of progress without having to rely on other players, because sometimes they won't be available online. We need to provide that. It gives us a nice baseline. So I don't know what the question meant by adventuring loop or adventuring world, but that's what I meant when I answered it. So
yeah, and that design will flesh out as we get to it, I'm sure.
I've got a pretty good idea what we need. It's actually content is the biggest problem. Right. It's coming up with enough content to make the environments and the monsters distinct and interesting. And I'm not even as worried about the powers, because our powers system now is so robust. I mean, they cranked out those 100 disciplines really fast, right? And the majors have like 3 to 4 powers each and passives and all that kind of crazy stuff. So
yeah, it's insane. It's insane how much there is. And I know the Caldera guys like know so much about the disciplines.
I know. The players are not just them, but the players in general. They know more about the disciplines, but that's always the case. I'm high level, and I have to, in order to get the game done, I have to stay high level. So inevitably, when people corner me on details, I just don't know. That's because if I stopped to try and get buried in them, I'd get so buried in them that nobody would be steering the high level. So I just don't. I don't even try. I had to disconnect from that years ago.
Yeah, I'm always having to ask Hallish for clarification on powers and stuff.
Well, you just sit next to him, so that makes it convenient.
It does make it convenient, yeah.
Cool.
I'm right next to all the designers, so I can always grab one of them.
Cool. Okay, so you want to do a Totino's pizza roll for me real quick?
Sure.
I can never remember. It's right here. All right, Tommy, what's this thing all about?
This is our special Gamescom sale.
Don't screw up the name of the guy like Aislinn did.
It's the Archon Great Sword Relic.
There you go.
And
take that shit, Aislinn.
And so it's a 50% off sale right now. And it's going to go about 24 hours. We're not sure the exact time, but 24 is our goal.
Ish, yeah.
So
it's our goal. It's not really a goal. It's just at some point tomorrow we'll remember, oh, yeah, that thing needs to be taken down.
So it wouldn't hurt to get in early if you want it.
Yep. There you go. So I want to make another point, too, which is sometimes, we ask you guys, and we bring this stuff up a lot, and I know it's annoying, but the pledges that come in every month, those go directly into the game. Like, that's paying people like Tommy here's salaries. Look at this poor guy. He needs health insurance.
I know.
He's too pretty. It's not going to last. And when it does, he's going to sink into depression, and somebody's going to have to pay for his counseling. And I'm not going to do it. So I need your help. See how I turn that around?
That's beautiful.
It is. It really is beautiful. So even if you're like, you know what? I don't really need an Archon statue. I already got 7 of them. I'm swimming in the damn things. That's a fair point. However, think of Tommy. Look at him.
Poor little Tommy.
Look at him.
Who needs his health insurance.
He needs his health insurance. So it really, all joking aside, though, it does make a huge difference. And so I know some of you actually do that and buy stuff that you clearly don't even need, and you do it to support us, and I want to thank you for that, too, because it is huge. It makes a giant difference.
Yeah, and whenever we hear about how the players are helping to support us. We always get really excited and
Yeah, it's a big. I mean, even if we have a big sales day, right? We'll bring it up in the Monday morning stand up or the Tuesday morning. We'll be like, hey, and by the way, we had a really big day for registrations yesterday. It's great because it's a constant reminder that what we're doing is not just in a vacuum.
yeah.
This is your game. This isn't our game. It's your game.
Yeah, so we always get really motivated by that, and we do our best work
Exactly.
when we hear those kind of things.
Exactly. Somebody said your smile was contagious.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that nice?
I hear that. Greg tells me that all the time. Basically, whenever I talk to Greg, I have a smile on my face.
That's good
And
stuff.
no matter what I do, it's stuck there.
That's nice. All right, so are we going to transfer over to the real Akshay now, or did he wander off? He was standing there a second ago.
It's hard to see from here. It's really dark out there.
So, I think we're over the hours. How long are we supposed to live stream? Was it just an hour?
I think it was supposed to be 9 to 10.
Yeah, I think
Just
that's
an
just
hour.
an hour. So, okay, I'm going to ask you this. Can you find out what the plan is? Literally, they're like, hey, Todd, here's a beer, here's a microphone. Sit down. It's time for another live stream. All right, fair enough. I mean, I've only been demoing for 14 hours,
Right.
but that's cool. No, it's fine. Seriously, it's good. So,
Yeah, I don't
anyway,
know.
so I don't mind. I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit, but we should figure out when we're supposed to end the live stream. And we need to bring on Akshay because we promised, and we
We
live
did.
up to our promises. We don't do them quickly, but we do live up to them.
Yes.
So
Well,
can you find me some Akshay
Yes.
and find out how long the stream's supposed to go,
Okay.
and see if there's anybody else here that we need to parade out in front of everybody.
Okay. I will
I think
do that,
there
Todd.
might be.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye, guys.
All right. Thanks for joining me, Tommy. Pan says it was supposed to be an hour, but I'm not sure.
That's what I heard, but I'm sure it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, somebody was. So I hope that was apparent. Well, I guess they did say the topic was race class stuff. Well, we talked about it a little bit. So this was our live stream from Gamescom at a bar in the middle of the backer party. So I really didn't think that we were going to cover a lot of game stuff. But I will say, if you're lacking that, go to yesterday's stream, even though it was chat, because I was in a crazy question answering mood. Like Ask Tennis, because I probably answered about a dozen questions from him alone. So if you feel like you need some answers, you can get them yesterday. Today was more about hanging out and having fun with my real friend here, Akshay.
Yes.
Can you get that on? Will it work? That's supposed to be like glasses. Like you, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Like this, right?
No, you spin it around. This thing goes in the back. Look at me. Look at me. Just like that.
All right.
All right.
Okay. What's
All
up,
right.
Todd?
How's it going?
Good, very good.
So where were you? How come you weren't here? How come I had to put up with Tommy and Aceland?
I was getting a
They're
bunch
the
of.
worst.
We were getting a bunch of people logged in so that they could fight each other, PvP
Oh, okay.
style.
That's cool. That's cool. How did the demo go today on the booth on the floor?
It went really well, actually. We got a lot of positive feedback.
That's cool.
I think people were super psyched to talk about our game with us. You know, a lot of people came up to me. They already knew a lot about Crowfall, and they were like, "We love this game. You know, we just want to tell you how much we like it and
that's
talk to
really
you about
cool.
it." And that's like really fun to hear.
Yeah.
Really good to hear.
Yeah, it's really gratifying.
Mhm.
It's better than when they walk up and say, "Hey, I just wanted to seek you out to tell you that you suck." In the
Yeah.
internet, people do that. In real life, not as much.
Not as much, yeah.
Which is thankful. I'm glad for that. I stood in line for 45 minutes just to say that you suck, Tommy, and I'm out. And then they just drop their lanyard on the floor and walk out of the booth. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Just drop it like boom.
Okay, we're gonna stick around for a little bit longer. So,
Okay,
all right.
cool. So what are we talking about?
Well, somebody just brought up your hair. They think your hair is amazing.
Oh wow, thank you so much.
Yeah. Wait. They could have been talking about me. They didn't specify. Could go either way. Let's just leave it there. Could be either person. Could go either way.
Hashtag flow in game.
Oh shit! The next person
Flowing
said
name.
Akshay's hair is quite beautiful. Oh, Doggett loves you.
Is Doggett watching? Hi, Doggett.
Yeah. Doggett loves you. And specifically, I think he loves you in lieu of loving Bentley.
Yeah. So
That makes sense. Fair enough.
okay.
So what are you working on right now? This is actually related to race class.
Really? Okay.
So it'd be good, right?
Yeah, sure. So 5.3 stuff.
Yep, 5.3. For those of you who don't know, the next major version is 5.3. All the campaign stuff is on the 5.2 dot some other number branch. We're currently on 5.2.4. The next big version after that is the race class split, which is 5.3 dot whatever, which right now means we're technically at 5.3.0, I think.
Oh yeah, or just 5.3. Yeah, so some of the, probably the biggest thing for 5.3 is the race class split. I mean, we've been testing a lot of those race class combinations internally. You know, getting all the animations working. You know, getting all the, making sure all the data is hooked up correctly, all the powers are working correctly, and you know, signing off on these and saying this race, this class, this is working. You know,
So tell me about, this is an interesting one. I don't know that we've talked about it a lot, but tell me about stances, like the different power trays, because this is different than the way it was before, right?
Yeah, so before we had an in-combat and an out-of-combat state, right?
And a few classes had a ranged, right?
Right. And
well, Ranger had ranged, Druid had just a different power bar.
Right, and those stances were tied to their trays. So when you were in the range tray, you were in the range stance. When you were in the melee tray, you were in the melee stance. And then within that stance, you could also press Z to go in and out of combat, right?
Right.
And so I think what Blair and I have been really working on these days has been cleaning that up and kind of changing that a little bit. And so now your stance is what your tray is. So when you're in the range tray, you're in the range stance. When you're in the melee tray, you're in the melee stance.
And you can jump from one to the other much more cleanly now, correct?
Right. And now you don't really go out of combat anymore. You go into a different tray altogether. Which we haven't really decided a name on that yet, but it's something like
stance or mode or something.
Right. And then that'll be all your out of combat stuff will go into that tray.
Right.
So you can load out your powers into that tray. And these would be powers that you don't use for fighting. There'd be stuff for
like bard songs.
Bard songs and things like that. Yeah.
So so another thing that we haven't talked about at all is powers. So now that I've got, let's say I load out a character and I take a discipline that we haven't done yet called Werewolf. And Werewolf gives me a whole new stance.
Yeah.
Which it polymorphs me into a werewolf, kind of like jumping into a catapult does. And it gives me a new series of powers. So do I load out those powers on that tray, I presume?
Yep.
So Werewolf could give me powers that I could load out in general, or it could also give me powers that are restricted to only being loaded out in my new Werewolf tray.
Yeah, in the Werewolf tray.
Okay, and then how about passives?
Passives right now actually work different from the active powers. Our passives are shared between our trays.
Yep.
So you have a list of...
By the way, I'm changing that.
You're changing that?
Yeah, that's not the way it's going to be. Yeah, I'm going to change it. I was asking because I thought I knew the answer, but evidently I didn't, you didn't. Because I actually want to allow them to set their passives on a stance-by-stance basis, so that I can decide when I go into this stance, this is what I care about more. Because it really should, it makes sense, right? If I go into ranged, I might care more about speed. If I go into melee, I don't care as much about speed, I care about health regeneration. Right. So being able to overload those. Now, you not knowing that makes me think that perhaps this is something that Blair and I disagree on, and I'm just not aware of that yet. So maybe we'll find out when I get back. But my expectation is that you should be able to load out your passives and your left and right mouse button and your C. Yeah. That should be stance specific, full tray loadout per stance. Anybody agree with me? Passive by stance is rad. I got one person that agrees with me.
What happens?
That's all I needed.
What
I need
happens
one
when you have a passive that will work in both stances? When you change stances, do you clear your passives, or do you keep those passives that can now work in the new stance?
Well, you'd clear them, but immediately reload the same one.
Okay.
So unless, I guess we'd have to look, are there any that have a dangling effect, like the passive builds up over time? Or is it just a flat, you've got this?
Typically, we actually do restart your passives. Like when you remap a power, we restart the passives.
Yeah.
And that's mainly for just like...
Yeah, that's, I know I do that because I didn't want people swapping out their stuff in mid-combat and using that. It's like forcing a cooldown because that keeps people from exploiting it. But what I was curious is if I have the same passive in 2, do I have a passive that's like, this thing builds up over a 5-minute period to a peak? If we have any of those, then I would definitely want, if you load it out in 2 bars, don't reset it because that's lame. Right?
Yeah, we should not reset those.
But I don't know if we have any of those.
I got to check. I don't think so either.
We probably will, though, because it's an idea.
If we don't already, it's probably being brewed right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Hey, look, it's another Akshay. Are you going to come on? Are you going to come on?
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, it was awesome talking
on
the stream. Yeah.
We've got the only person that can replace Akshay is somebody who has even better hair than Akshay.
That's very true. it's longer and definitely
It's
more
more
flowy.
longer and more flowy.
Yeah. Well,
So, all right. Well, thank you for
Thank you so
joining me.
much, yeah.
There you go, guys. So at the end here, you got a little bit of some reveal. All right. Yeah, Tennis called it.
He did.
He said, Melissa. Well, it's the hair. I mean, who else on our team has fabulous hair besides you and Akshay and me? We talked about that
Maybe I
earlier.
have to go around my hair.
You might have to, yeah.
There we
You
go.
just kind of hook it on the ears.
I know. I'm just. All right, there we go. There we go.
Is that gonna work?
Yeah. So,
It's not. Bring back Akshay. Sorry, somebody votes down. They'd like his hair is more flowy. It is pretty flowy though. You have to give him.
It's getting really long.
I meant Akshay's.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yours is good too, though.
Yours is getting long
I'm not
too.
trying to harsh on your hair. How's it going?
Good. Did you see the picture of Doggett?
Lying across Bentley's desk?
No, the new one.
No. What did he do now?
Draped across Aislin's desk.
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right. As long as he stays away from my stuff, I'm okay with that.
I think he's feeling a little left out.
That's good. That's good. So, Melissa, Gamescom. First time at Gamescom.
It is.
Never been before.
No. I have
Early
not.
impressions, because we've still got 4 days to go.
So I had everybody telling me ahead of time who I knew who had been to Gamescom before that it was going to be completely overwhelming, and it is.
And we haven't even gotten to the real
And
days
we haven't
yet.
even gotten to Saturday, which is the truly overwhelming day. I got to walk around today a little bit. I took some pictures, so I'll share those. I was on the main hall, up on the stairs, looking down, and I just saw a sea of people, packed, solid, and I couldn't even see the end of it. It was crazy. All I kept thinking in my mind was, what happens if the zombie apocalypse hit right now?
Yeah? That's what you were thinking?
That's exactly what went through my head
That's
at that
interesting.
moment, because I just looked like a sea of. I just saw them all turning into zombies, and I thought, I'm a dead person right now.
So what I've been thinking, I have my own doomsday scenario. What I've been thinking is,
I'm always doomed to stay.
I know, and I've been thinking like, so what would happen if North Korea hit Austin with nukes while we were here? Would we just show up at the Travian office and keep working on Crowfall? Like, what would we do? I mean, we don't have any place to live.
Knowing
like,
you and Gordon, yes.
Yeah, so
No,
I was just trying to
especially
figure
Gordon,
out like,
there would be no stopping.
yeah,
There's,
Gordon
like,
would still be on
North
his
Korea-
on his laptop. But I was trying to figure like, okay, so what would happen in that case? Everybody I know would be dead.
Yeah.
That would suck. I would not be happy about that, to
No.
be very, very clear.
That's true.
We do have the software in escrow though, because I put it there for Mike McShaffery, so that if it did get nuked, he could pick up the ball and carry it while he's at Burning Man. He'd come back. So you know, I think, would we survive? Maybe. It would depend on you guys buying Archon Great Sword relics and Totino's crazy pizza rolls. We can't hear you. Why can't you hear me? Can you hear me
what?
now? No, they can hear us.
Zombie discipline. See, you heard. Everybody heard. Mic up.
Somebody
Oh,
liked my
sorry.
segue though. I thought
There
it was
you
pretty
go.
good too.
Now can you hear me?
Oh,
Hello,
Melissa.
hello.
They couldn't hear you.
Sorry. It was in my hair.
Yeah, everybody can hear me because I'm loud and I never stop talking.
What up? What up?
As you and Max
Todd,
and Felix
Todd.
learned last night.
Yeah, Todd, move your mic down.
Yeah.
No,
fair
you're
enough.
good. No,
I'm
you're
just-
good.
I'm going to move it back here behind my head.
Oh, there's Pan. That's my nickname. So yeah, Gamescom has been incredible. It's hard to describe. The booth is amazing. Everybody seems really like super interested to the point where it's hard to actually cycle. We're trying to keep this pace. We're trying to cycle people
Keep people
through.
moving through the booth. So
Keep them moving through. We want as many people to see the game as possible, but everybody seems to be so into it that they're asking all these questions, and it's hard to get people to move through. So I feel bad. I don't want to just move them through, but we do want a lot of people to see the game as much as possible.
So I've got pictures of the booth. This is pathetic, but I'm going to show you on my phone. So like that's a picture when you first get into the booth.
Yeah, that's not very good.
You can't see that at all, can you? Here we go. It doesn't work. All right.
I've taken a lot of pictures. I'll
Yeah,
share
so-
them all.
And here's a picture of a chair. Ooh, chair. Thanks for sharing, Todd. Fantastic, right? And here's a picture of some Dave Greco art on a wall. Okay, so I really would love to take all of the art that's inside this booth
I know.
back to our office and hang it on the walls.
The tree is incredible.
Yeah, so they built a tree of life, a giant tree of life.
They built a tree of life out of wood and took Dave Greco's concept and it's painted across this whole thing. It's maybe 15 feet tall.
Yeah, the problem is it's so tall, I've never worked in an office where it would fit anywhere inside.
Yeah,
right?
so we can deconstruct it and store it somewhere for when the game does really well and we get a big office and we have a lobby and then we can put the tree in there. Yeah.
Like even the King's Isle office, which was by the time I left very big. We had
Yeah.
200 and something people, 220, 250, something like that people. Fancy office. That tree wouldn't have fit in that office. Zero chance.
No.
Well, no, I mean, I guess you could lay it down like that. That kind of defeats the point, though.
No,
I mean,
that's not very impressive.
so my favorite piece of art out of all the hanging pieces now is the half-giant female cleric.
Which unfortunately is covered by the door.
Yeah, it is a little covered by the door, but
yeah.
it looks really cool.
It's so awesome. So at about 7-ish tonight, when things were kind of slowing down a little bit, we ended up shutting the door some as the queue kind of built back up. And everybody in there was like, oh my God, that is amazing. That half-giant female cleric, that's an awesome concept.
It's an awesome concept.
It is the size of the entire wall.
It could be a little better.
I don't know.
Dave's concept could be a little better.
Well, we'll have to tell
She's
Dave.
kneeling down, and she's going like this, and there's a pool of water at her feet, and there's just, it feels like something is missing.
I think maybe fish.
Maybe a parliament of fishes. Like I wanted like some little fish poking up out of the water with their mouths open, like she's like praying to them, or maybe she's asking them a question.
Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic.
And they come up one at a time and just sing at her.
And they just kind of like Billy Bass, like they're all like.
You're insane.
I think that would be
so
great.
we have this theory in the office, or I came up with here's the deal. If Todd mentions something more than 3 times, it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. You're putting it off.
Well, here's the deal. Sometimes we think he's joking. You say things once and we're like, oh, Todd, that's hilarious. You're not serious. And then he'll say it a second time and I start to get like kind of the sweats.
Venetians came from this,
I start to get really worried.
Elkin did too, though, so it's not always silly. Sometimes it's creepy.
It's not always bad.
Necromancy came from it too.
It's usually painful.
Right.
Usually. And then the third time comes around and I'm like, guys, get ready. Get ready. This is happening.
Yeah, it's about to be a real thing.
This is happening.
So, okay, the Parliament of Fishes is not a real thing.
No, it's not.
Well, okay, hold back on. It's not a real thing in the game, but I do think the concept piece would be better. It would tell a better story if she was sitting there talking to, like, pseudo-intelligent fish. I think it would be a better piece of art. I just have to say it.
No, I disagree. I'm going to have to push back on this one. Dave, this is not happening.
Okay, Gratishar, are we getting sieging and 5-2 tests this weekend? So the sad truth is might have been possible, but we've got so many people in Gamescom that I don't know that it's going to work this weekend. The truth is that when it comes to something big, like launching Big World or launching campaigns or whatever, I like to actually, on those, hand-hold them across the finish line. Like literally, I go in and touch every single piece of tech and code to walk it across and go, okay, yeah, we're good, and make sure there's no holes.
Yep.
And I'm here, so I can't do that. So could we put it out? We could try. Would it work? It actually might, right? It's not like I'm necessary to it, but I have a good eye for catching things that just for some reason, when you're this far in the details, you sometimes miss things. And I always stay just a little further back so that I can watch it. So without me checking it, it's a little dicey, honestly. So I'm going to say probably not. Will it be the next weekend? I'd love it to, but I haven't done that walkthrough yet, so I don't want to promise it and say yes, it will. I can tell you that we are very close. It's coming very soon, and with it, I want to get us up to a 24/7 campaign. The first campaign will probably be 1 week, and it may be problematic because it's the first time we try it. Of course it will be, right?
Yeah.
But we have to do it. So
Maybe.
It's coming very, very soon.
Yeah. I think, it's gonna. Hopefully, it'll be awesome when it reaches you guys. Honestly, at Gamescom right now, people are playing an old build. And
we talked about that.
Yeah,
Y'all
you
can't
did.
hear us, but we
oh
talked
no,
about
I can't
it.
hear you guys.
Yeah, it's like 6 weeks or 2 months old.
Yeah.
I gave Tommy bullshit about a bunch of bugs. I'm like, why have we fixed this? He has. He fixed them like a month ago. I know he has, but
But
you know,
but
still.
everybody's been so excited so far about it. It's been really refreshing. And I just have to. I don't know if anybody's mentioned so far
the Archon Great Sword Relic.
Oh yeah, the Archon Greatsword Relic.
The Archon. I'm delighted that you brought that up, Melissa. Wasn't as smooth as last time.
That's not what I was thinking actually, but
Okay,
there
go
it
ahead.
is. No, I want. Oh well, no, I'm pointing to that.
Oh, you are. That works.
Yeah, that works. Our volunteers, the players, the guild members.
Yeah,
that are,
yeah. And I did bring that up
You
earlier.
did,
I did a
okay.
big shout out
They
to
are
them.
doing a amazing job.
Yeah.
This is a tiring job. They are having to fight against a lot of loud noise and music from other booths around us, and they're amazing. They are so into our game and so informed that they are really getting people excited as they go through. It's awesome. We've had people come through all the way, come out the exit, and then come back to the entrance just to tell us how excited they are about the game.
Yeah.
And they
That's
knew
really
nothing.
cool.
They knew nothing about it going into it.
I was
Nothing
surprised how
about
many
it.
press people I talked to today.
Yeah.
When I had said, okay, so what do you know about Crowfall? The answer was nothing.
Yeah.
So, and I figured out a better way, and this might help you guys too. Our game is so complicated, right? It's so weird. It is so hard to like distill down into a simple pitch.
Mm-hmm.
But today I had a breakthrough on that, which is the first thing I would say is I say, okay, well, Crowfall is the first MMO that you can actually win.
Yep.
It's true. It makes very little sense.
Yeah.
But it begs a question, and it gets their attention. So
Right.
that's how I started today. Was it's the first MMO that you can win.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you what the hell that means.
Yeah.
So I maybe tomorrow we should let everybody know that, because that's a good way to start,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it
For
goes
sure.
from there to you can actually impact the world, you can actually make a change, you can rip stuff down, you can blow stuff up, you can
Yeah.
actually
And
really
then build it back up again.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
can. But at the end of the day, there's one team that wins, and that's just a fundamentally different thing,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Than WoW.
And that's what people have been saying.
And that's all we've had since 2004.
This is very
WoW.
different. Yep.
WoW with blank.
Yeah.
WoW with Jedi.
Which is
WoW with Wizards,
which
WoW,
is
yeah,
awesome.
WoW with
But
whatever.
that we're
It is
different.
awesome.
We want to
But
be different.
If
So
somebody wants WoW, though, they can get it. They can find it.
it's there.
It's actually imminently available.
Yeah.
So.
Quest, do you have
Okay,
anything
so
else?
let's see. Pan
5
is calling
minutes.
it. She's saying 5 minutes.
Okay.
She's saying 5 minutes for us. So Coolster's got a question. If the new power tray can stealthers into the tray while in combat. I think what we talked about with Akshay just now is I think you can just choose your stance and jump straight to it. Have you played with that at all? By the way, the new stance
I
and
haven't.
power tray stuff?
No, I haven't
It's
seen
pretty
it.
cool. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be better. What I'm also trying to do as we go through these systems is I'm trying to get them to be more simple. Like I'm trying to get them
Yeah.
toned down quite a bit, because a lot of our systems now are in and functional, but for a new player coming in, they have no idea
Right.
how it works.
I
And
think
in
that's a
fact,
good
unless
idea.
they've been reading our Tuesday, Thursday updates every week, which not all of them do, they don't know how the systems work. So
Right.
that's a major challenge for me between now and launch, is to go through and figure out how to serve the stuff up to people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's a thing, just another thing. So what were you laughing about?
Tennis wants to know who our booth neighbors are, and I was laughing. I think one of them is
The Wonder Woman people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in their video.
Something of
It's
Angels.
Legion- League of Angels.
Which, if I recall, they put up some of the most ridiculous, over-the-top ads on the internet ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of people dressed up in wings and dancing, which I said next time we come to Gamescom,
I don't have
we're
a problem with
dressing.
that.
We are dressing Todd up in wings.
Okay, wait a
So
second.
you can dance
When
out front of the
I
booth.
said I don't have a problem with that.
I mean,
I didn't know where you were going.
it feels like a miss that we didn't have people dressed up as characters this year. You know, walking around, getting people
Yeah.
to come into the Crowfall booth. So next year you've been signed up. Big Crow wings. I mean, you've done it once before.
I
You
know,
might-
and that's why I feel like it's tired and old, and we need to find a new costume for me.
That's true.
Good point. See how I weaseled my way out of that?
No, we'll find your way back into it.
All right. And Lars, we're going to make him a Minotaur, right?
Yes, Lars should totally be a Minotaur.
I think he should be a Minotaur.
Yeah.
I think that fits. So, what are you going to dress as?
Probably the Ranger.
Female Ranger.
I've got the hair.
You do have the hair
It
for
makes
it and
sense.
the voice for it, as it turns out.
Apparently, I've done the voiceover for
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. You need to look at those different. Is it the scale? Which one? The scale is her scale is pretty cool.
I like the leather set though quite a bit.
Which cloak has the overlapping kind of leaf pattern?
I think that's the leather set.
That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's,
I know
that
that's
was
your
a
favorite.
good. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. We could make our own cloaks out of IKEA rugs, apparently.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, evidently so.
So I might do that.
Yep.
Soon.
All right. I'm in for that. And who? The other one was Gigabyte,
Oh yeah, Gigabyte was also next to us.
who I think also loaned us some machines for demo
They
purposes.
did. They
which
loaned.
is like just crazy cool.
Yeah.
Like,
that
they're
was
awesome.
It was really awesome. Yep.
Almost as cool as owning a. Oh damn it! I screwed it up. An Archon Greatsword relic.
Yeah.
I need to remember it's right here. I can't for some reason. I'm always turned around.
It's right there.
So.
Do we have any other questions? Half Giant needs to have a druid as a class.
You know, actually, I remember that one being on the list that we discussed it. Half Giant as a druid.
Yes,
you know?
we did.
And they need a talking to fishes spell. That's who should get it, don't you think?
Now I'm getting the tingles. This is somehow coming to fruition.
It
I don't
could be
know.
a discipline.
I don't know in what form
It
this is
could
actually
be a
going
fishmonger discipline. That's amazing.
to just breathe.
We don't have any fish in the game,
No,
but we don't not have any fish in the game either.
it's true.
No, that didn't make any sense. What I said just, why would you say that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm so sorry.
I'm so tired.
It's years and years
I'm so
of
tired.
slowly wearing you down. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. All right. So I think it's probably just about time to call it. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so.
All right, guys. I want to thank everybody. No, I'm still not drunk. Here's my beer. I still barely touched it. But we did some drinking last night.
Yes, we
A
did.
few of us.
We stayed up a little bit too late,
That was a lot. There was a lot of drinking, and there was some 3 a.m.
and we had to go to
Staying
work.
up
And we
till-
had to go to work today.
We did. So.
Well, thanks you guys.
Somebody said I'm extending the stream because I don't like crowds. That is true about not liking crowds, but no, this is my people. So I'm totally
Yeah.
here. I'm fine. Generic people of the Gamescom, in my face is what I don't like. This is my peeps.
Yeah.
I'm fine. So, hey, I've got to do this before we leave. Very important. You know you were waiting for this. You and Pan. All right, I'm showing off the Caldera shirt, and I know some guilds are going to be like, wait, why is he wearing their shirt? Because they sent me a shirt.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
There you go.
So here I go. I got my own personalized Caldera shirt. They're here too. There's like a dozen of them or something.
They've been working really hard
there
helping
you
us
go,
out.
guys.
Yeah.
Caldera shirt. And I got one more shout out before tonight. I don't want to bring the mood down, but Wes, I'm sorry you didn't get to play the game, man. Here's to you. All right? Y'all have a great night.
Guys.
And we will talk to you again, I guess, tomorrow. We got another live stream.
That's true.
All right?
See you guys.
See you soon. I don't know how to turn this off. I'll just kill it.